Hello, this is Purple Guac, and today we're going to be talking about why the University of Washington is the worst.
Before we start, we just want to mention that you can check out our next video on why the University of Washington is the best.
Reason number one is competitive majors. You can get into the UW without getting into a major, and you have to take certain classes and apply to get into a major.
This is being phased out.
When we say being phased out, what they're moving towards is when you apply to engineering, for example, you'll be admitted to the School of Engineering, but you don't necessarily get to choose which engineering major you end up in. So you may end up in like civil, industrial engineering when you really wanted to do electrical.
If you are accepted into the University of Washington, but you're not accepted into a major, it might be worth considering maybe other schools, just because it's a really stressful and hard time to try to get into a major.
It's definitely going to be difficult, and you may not get into your major in your first or second year, and you're going to have a very stressful time.
Another reason is that University of Washington is mainly known in Washington, not really anywhere else. So it's really hard to get the attention of big companies that are not founded in Washington. Sometimes they don't even recruit at the UW.
Yeah, you're going to definitely apply or talk to people for internships that really doesn't know UW and how well it ranks to other schools.
Another thing is weed out classes. So there are going to be specific classes, and mostly freshmen take these classes, and like people fail these classes. That's the whole point of them. So someone has to pass, someone has to fail, and they're graded on a curve.
Another reason why UW is the worst is the location. First of all, it gets very dangerous, especially at night. We get a UW alert. It's a text or email every week or two of someone being held at gunpoint or someone being stabbed.
I live in the Greek system, and I personally don't ever feel safe at night because there's just so much crime happening in that neighborhood.
And UW knows this is a problem, so they have things in place like night rides where they'll like drive you around campus, but really it's not enough. Like people live all around campus. You're going to be walking around at night.
Police patrol at night is just on the UW campus. It doesn't really go very far outside of it.
Another thing with that is the homeless population is very high. Seattle is kind of notorious for having a high homeless population. Yeah, like I'm just studying in a library and I go to the bathroom to wash my hands. And then there's literally a homeless student there taking a shower in the sink.
Seattle is known for this, but in the wintertime especially, it just gets really depressing. So winter quarter is about 10 weeks long, and it goes through like the worst parts of Seattle weather. It's just going to be cloudy for 10 weeks straight, basically.
Seasonal depression is 100% real.
Nothing worse than when you finish a bad test and you fail that test and you're wearing jeans, it's raining outside, red square is all slippery.
Your shoes get wet.
All right, another reason is that UW is a huge public university. Literally anyone can come onto campus.
Yeah, so sometimes you'll just be walking to class. This isn't the case at private universities, but they allow political activists. So you would think maybe that's a good thing, like you see a lot of perspectives, but sometimes, you just don't want to be shouted at like on a megaphone by like a religious extremist group on your way to class.
Also, just because it's a big public university, you kind of feel like you have to fight for every resource or you have to compete for every opportunity.
Your teachers don't care about you anymore, really, or they probably won't even know who you are. So it's kind of up to you to be responsible for your grades, how well you're doing in the class, whether stuff is making sense or not. The whole class is not going to stop just because you're confused.
So if you're an incoming student at the University of Washington, don't be bummed out because we go to the UW and we actually love it there. So make sure you check out why we think the University of Washington is the best video next. If you made it to the end, like and please subscribe, and we'll see you next time.